And now, from 12 Studios, this is News 12 Now.
Well, good afternoon, Texoma. Today is Monday, March 17th. Welcome to News 12 Now. I'm Kylie Dedman. Our top story this afternoon, President Donald Trump is set to attend a Kennedy Center board meeting this afternoon for the first time since he dissolved the board of directors and named himself the chairman. It comes as the White House stands by the president's decision to invoke a little-used wartime law to deport accused gang members. CBS News' Taryn Small has the latest from the White House, where President Trump also had something to say about some of former President Joe Biden's pardons.
President Trump is pushing ahead with his mass deportation plan while disregarding a federal judge's ruling about the deportation of alleged Venezuelan gang members over the weekend. The government of El Salvador released video of what it says are planes from the U.S. carrying nearly 250 Venezuelan migrants, many accused gang members. President Trump invoked the Alien Enemies Act to carry out the quick deportations without the usual legal steps.
This is a time of war because Biden allowed millions of people, many of them criminals, many of them at the highest level. These were bad people.
On Saturday, a federal judge ordered the flights to return to the U.S., but the Justice Department said the planes had already left U.S. territory, so the courts had no jurisdiction. On Fox and Friends Monday, President Trump's so-called border czar said more flights are planned.
We're not stopping. I don't care what the judges think. I don't care what the left thinks. We're coming.
The Alien Enemies Act has only been invoked 3 times in U.S. history. President Trump's use of it in this circumstance has sparked lawsuits.
The law is crystal clear that it can only be used in a declared war or where a foreign government or nation is actually and militarily invading our country. That is not the situation here.
President Trump is also warning his political rivals that they are now subject to investigation, even though many of them already received preemptive pardons from former President Biden. In a social media post, Trump claims Biden's pardons of members of the January 6th Select Committee are void because he says Biden's signature was done by AutoPen, and he claimed without evidence that Biden was unaware of the pardons. Among those who received preemptive pardons, Democratic Congressman Benny Thompson and former Congresswoman Liz Cheney. Adam Kinzinger, former Republican congressman from Illinois and member of the January 6th committee, posted a video on X mocking the president's threat of an investigation, telling him to bring it on. Torian Small, CBS News, the White House.
It's a warm and windy one already out there, definitely warmer than yesterday. Lots of sunshine though, and really temperature-wise, it's really not that bad. But here's what makes it not so pleasant is that strong wind out of the south and west, anywhere from about 15 to 25 miles an hour sustained, gusting to near 30-35 at times. So not Friday windy, but still windy, and it's going to be windy the next 3 days or so, which at least in terms of today means that we do deal with a more elevated fire danger. And we have some big temperature swings on the way, primarily for Tuesday into Wednesday. That's going to be with our next cold front. There's also going to be some strong winds with that as well. Then we're actually not looking too bad heading into the weekend, but we do have right now at least the chance for some severe weather on a Sunday. But how much severe weather could we see? Well, we'll show you what we're looking at and what you can expect for the rest of the week coming up in your full forecast here in a minute. Till then, back to you, Kylie.
All right, thank you, Brian. The Real ID deadline in Oklahoma is less than 2 months away. Not everyone has to get one, but it will be required if you plan to board domestic flights, visit specific federal buildings, nuclear power plants, and certain military installations. Now, in order to obtain Real ID, certain documents are required.
They'll need is a state-issued birth certificate, cannot be photocopies. They will also need any form of name changes, such as marriage licenses, court orders, proof of address. So that would be mail, that it has to have your name and your address, bills, anything like that. Just no junk mail.
If you don't have access to your birth certificate, you can also use an unexpired U.S. passport. The deadline to have the Real ID is May 7th. The battlefield is changing. Drones have evolved into a major threat to U.S. forces. and the military is racing to stop them. Right now, members of the military are learning to take down enemy drones before they can strike. Fox's Sarah Allegre reports from Fort Sill, Oklahoma, where that training is currently underway.
On the modern battlefield, the attack doesn't always come from the ground. It can strike from above in seconds. Right now, service members are training here at Fort Sill for those moments.
What you're looking at here is the Joint Counter UAS University,
or Drone University in short. And Colonel Mosif Sayuda is the director, helping soldiers, sailors, Marines, and airmen
keeps targeting the drones.
Use real-life scenarios and advanced weapons to take down enemy drones.
We can train, utilizing simulations across different systems and platforms that simulates the same training you would get in a combat training center as well as in a deployment. So you have to learn how to visually identify these aircraft, but you're dealing with very saturated environments.
But in a way the U.S. Army says saves taxpayers millions, like striking down this balloon instead of the drone itself and using 3D printed versions of the tech to bring down cost.
Talking about a 91% reduction in what it would cost the U.S. government.
I even got a chance to take down a 3D replica using what's called a smart shooter fire control optic.
Tap the lock button.
Hold it there till the weapon fires.
It helps with precision, and I actually hit the target on my second try.
Hey!
Engineers say the shot's an easy fix, and the drone can even be used again.
Yeah, they can resolder these if they have to, and they have other pieces.
Just one small example of a cost-effective training approach that could save lives.
This is not a problem to take lightly. There's been a lot of investments from personnel to money, you name it, to ensure that we are getting after this.
From Fort Sill, Oklahoma, Sarah Allegre, Fox News.
The Defense Department is sending a Navy destroyer to the southern border to help curb illegal immigration. The USS Gravely left Yorktown, Virginia on Saturday and is heading down south. The destroyer helped respond to Houthi attacks in the Red Sea during a multi-month deployment last year. Specialized members of the U.S. Coast Guard will be aboard the destroyer, and they have experience in a number of areas that include counterterrorism and homeland security. The Defense Department already has deployed thousands of active duty troops to the southern border. And 2 American astronauts who've been at the International Space Station 9 months longer than originally planned are now one step closer to coming home. CBS's Mark Strassman has the story.
Ignition and liftoff.
Finally, the beginning of the end, launching an overdue homecoming for Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams. After liftoff Friday night, their replacement crew, 4 fresh astronauts led by Commander Ann McClain, arrived at the space station early Sunday morning. Among the welcoming party, Wilmore and Williams.
It was a wonderful day. Great to see our friends arrive. So thank you so much.
After a short handover, Wilmore and Williams, along with NASA astronaut Nick Hague and Russian cosmonaut Alexander Gorbanov, will board a different SpaceX capsule and return to Earth on Tuesday.
People are always ready to get back home.
Ken Bowersox, a former astronaut himself, now leads space operations for NASA.
It's always a little bittersweet, right? You miss your family, but you love being on space station.
How do you think they've handled it, all the attention?
Butch and Sonny have been great. I can't say enough positive things about them and how proud I am of them.
Wilmore and Williams' space saga is unlike any in recent memory. Back in June, their ride to the ISS developed propulsion problems. Their original 8-day mission stretched into more than 9 months.
I'm looking forward to sitting across from them and hearing about their perception of how things went and all about their time on orbit.
And what a story they'll have to tell. Mark Strassman, CBS News, Atlanta.
Thank you for watching today's News 12 Now. Make sure to subscribe so you find out why Texoma turns to us. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook, where you'll see more social media exclusive content. Want more News 12 Now? Watch us live every weekday through the KXII app on your phone or TV and through our website.